What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to take you through common errors I see people do in bag work. Now, I want to talk about this today because I've been going through all the submissions I got for the upcoming episode where I'm going to critique some of the training footage that subscribers have sent to me. I got over 140 submissions, just file upon file upon file. So I've been trying to go through and find the ones that are appropriate, that meet the criteria that I listed out. And then I'll choose about 5 to 8. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm getting to that. It's taking me a lot of time. I know a lot of people are anxious to see that episode. I will get it out as soon as I can. Like I said, it's a lot of time. But as I'm watching people, some people are doing shadow boxing, some people are doing sparring, many people are doing bag work. As I'm watching the bag work, I'm seeing a few common errors that are just worth mentioning in case I don't get to your video footage in this current episode, which I'll be putting out. So what I want to talk about when I see people do bag work, just a couple errors that seem to happen time and time again. The first one is people like to feel out. It's almost like they're gauging their distance. They come in and they do that a lot. The problem with doing this is you're basically walking within range and you're throwing 2 jabs, neither of which have any power. If somebody walks within range and I feel the tap tap against my gloves, I'm going to counter. The second time they do it, I'm going to wait for the first tap, and then as they draw their hand back only to here, I'm going to loop over top and bang them in the head. So as you guys are doing bag work footage, this is just a common theme I saw. You're moving around. If I want to get to the bag, I move in. My first jab needs to be hard. If I don't throw hard and I just do that, then most likely I'm going to get a counter shot. I like to lead off with a decent amount of power, unless you're super evasive. So I move in 1, 2, as opposed to stepping in. All right, always first one, nice and powerful on the attack while closing the distance. You get the guy to freeze up, maybe knock him off balance a little bit, and then you can follow into the next techniques that you want to throw. All right, that's my first point, first critique overall that I saw with a lot of people. The next thing that I saw a lot of is people working really fancy footwork. Really fancy, moving this way, moving that way, all around, up and down. But remember, the most important footwork at the beginning when you're learning is getting very dynamic on your in motion and your out motion after. You can stay fairly square. You don't need to be worrying about lots of angles. That comes with time and experience. But as a beginner, I move around, I move in, I throw my punches, and I move out. Those are the most important ones. So you can square up with your bag, in and then out. Move around, pick your timing, in and then out, right? You want to focus on the most important elements when you are a beginner. If you're more advanced, you can disregard this. The next thing I want to talk about is people's power. I saw a lot of video submissions. I think today, just today, I went through about 50. And I saw very few people who, when they moved in, were hitting hard. It was more, and it basically comes down to what do you use the different elements of training for. For me, shadow boxing is a time to pick my shots. All right, I can move, I can take my time, I can work. I still go very fast in shadow boxing, but I do like that element of shadow boxing for chill and just really recognizing the technique needs to be perfect. When I get onto the bag, for me personally, I like to use this as a time to really get used to letting my shots really bang out. Not just, you can do that in shadow boxing. You don't need a bag for this. You have a bag, you want to practice banging it and getting some good power in and really ripping away on the shots. So that's something I'd like to see a lot of people do. And I see this time and time again at gyms, people in front of the bag, tap, tap. And I think, well, what's the point of having a bag? I can do that midair. I don't need a bag for that. So try to avoid little pitter-patter shots when you're on the bag and really, really bang away. The next thing, which I'd noticed a lot of people, maybe they're a little bit timid about letting noises out when they're hitting stuff. Fair enough, a lot of people don't like doing it. But I only saw one submission so far today where I actually saw somebody or heard somebody making noises as they're hitting. Now, it doesn't need to be like, oh, yeah, but it's just more letting the air out and just Or if you want, you can even yell, sort of like the Muay Thai fighters, but holding the air in and just kind of that's exactly what we don't want. We want to be breathing. Or you could but again, a lot of people don't like doing that. They feel self-confident. But if you're at home, try to exhale some air on each shot. It'll help you tighten your stomach, which will defend the whole torso, less likely of getting a counter shot to the body where you get injured. And a couple of years ago, I remember for female tennis players, the committee was trying to remove the right for them to make their noises when they were hitting. They said it was unflattering for females or something stupid like that. All right, when you hit, there's some studies done. When you hit and you breathe out, you do a grunt. They were saying that you can generate 5 to 10% more power. And I do believe you can do the same thing when you're hitting pads. You do that, or then you go, ha, ah, something like that. You want to get a little bit more power. So don't feel that you can't make noise when you're hitting, and it doesn't just need to be, you can actually give a little yell. Something that I suggest, I always do when I hit pads. I'm very loud, I'm very vocal, and I find it makes a big difference for me. So guys, we will get into all the video submission very soon. I will go through, take you through the 5 to 8 that I mentioned that I would actually critique, and I think it's going to be a great episode. But until then, you guys can start incorporating the tips that I gave you today into your own bag work. And I just feel like if you have all these elements down that I talked about today, you're going to be that much better when you're hitting a target. And if I had a swinging bag today, one hanging from the ceiling, I would have many more points. But this is just one of those stationary ground bags. I'm not a big fan of these. I like the ones that hang more, but I couldn't really do it with this today. I didn't want to go outside. It was too windy. Indoor episode. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you have not already, join the channel and get subscribed. Train hard, guys. See you back here soon for another video.